Let me go to my little chat dealio. Cool. Okay. All right. One final housekeeping check here that you can hear me, see the screen, because I could talk through this and you'd fall asleep. The replay age, James, 74 years old. Good. Okay. End of webinar. I'm glad I could teach you guys that. Mark Foundation. Are you your own nonprofit? That's a really cool name. Anita, 3 a.m. Whoa, that's no joke. So while people are logging in, I'm just going to give it another 40 seconds or so. It's good to see everyone popping in here. Just let's answer a couple basic questions to help me calibrate this. Number one, do you have a current high ticket offer in place that somebody can purchase? Some yes, and it's okay if you don't, because you don't want to do it wrong. So we got anywhere, okay. Some guys are including price. That's fine. Oscar's still working on it. A lot of yeses, good. Okay. If not, it's okay, because it might be more powerful for you to avoid a lot of mistakes. And I'm going to show you today why, in our current climate with the way algorithms and AI and advertising are working, you probably need a back end offer. So if you're selling stuff that's a few $100s and trying to churn out courses or whatever, I think that's pretty much, that ship has sailed. And it also really doesn't serve people as well. What you want is a Silicon Valley mentor of mine told me one time, the most two important words in marketing are per month. So you want a model that scales. And when I talk about the nerdy numbers we're going to talk about, one slide, I promise, will be about numbers. The rest will be about teaching you what to build and how to do this. But the numbers are important, because if you don't know exactly, if you show up without a plan, then you're going to get really mixed results. So what's up, James? Yes, this is Aaron, question mark, exclamation, some version of surprise and flabbergastation. Yes, there will be a replay for you guys that are here. But I want to make sure I can answer your questions and whatnot. So hang out. If you're just logging in, I see the participant number starting to level off, so we can get started. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys a couple important questions, folks. And the number one, if you're just logging in, do you have a high ticket offer in place? Most of you answered that. Awesome. Can anyone type in what the whole industry defines as a high ticket offer? James is correct, but you can sneak in there at 3K, about 5K. Right. So there are certain truths that are universal. And no matter who you talk to, there are three core models we're going to cover today, and they're based on price. So those of you that are confused by marketing and funnels and high ticket and low ticket, there's actually three funnels on earth, period, full stop. And everything else is a variation. So sometimes we think, I'm doing a challenge, I'm doing a webinar, I'm doing this and that. Those aren't really different marketing systems, what we call customer engines. They're not different funnels. If you're doing low ticket, let's say $100 or less, people are going right to a sales page. If you're selling something between $100 and $2,900, they usually opt in first so you can nurture them and you sell them some directly. And if you're 3 to 5K, 12K plus high ticket, you have to talk to someone over chat, Zoom, or the phone. So second question, some of you that are jumping in, we're asking, do you have a high ticket offer in place? Second question is, what is the biggest friction you face, just so I can calibrate this training, with enrolling clients in your high ticket? In other words, to be very technical, why does it suck? What do you run into? What kind of friction do you guys run into? And getting them on the freaking phone. Let me prompt you guys. People think they don't need you because AI. Joe, you need to reframe that, sir. People don't need me because of AI. People think they don't need you because of AI. They don't even know what they need. A lot of no-shows, lack of engagement, cost too much, not enough time. So here's the big categories we're going to cover. And this sounds like a crazy claim, because that's what marketers do. When I told you in my emails or my marketing for this event that I brought receipts, I'm going to show you empirical math that proves that I can double or triple the performance of an existing high ticket system. Double or triple by making one change. So here's why it sucks so much. What's up, Norman Kennedy? Yo. Is tire kickers, no shows. Tire kickers, no shows. How many of you that are logging in now who sell high ticket or want to sell high ticket, how many of you have tried to hire a SDR or a closer? How many of you have tried to hire a closer? In other words, you've gotten your business to the point where you're no longer doing the enrollment and you've tried to use someone else. Some of you have toyed with it. Some of you have tried it. Some of you have not done that. So this sounds really like a damaging admission, as they call it. I have way more scaling experience in sales teams than I do in marketing. I've had sales teams of 65 people, closers, appointment setters, the whole thing. The problem with that is, as you have, the filter is the closer. In other words, the knowledge of that 22-year-old closer using borrowed Wi-Fi from their mama's basement, that's a high ticket closer, because they don't know how to help your clients. All they know how to do is create psychological pressure and tell someone their life is going to suck if they don't buy. So I'm going to tell you how we figured this out and show you how it works. And again, if you're logging on, I want you to have something to write with. The goal is for you to learn how to enroll those clients without positioning your time as free and eliminating all of the no-shows and tire kickers and crap on your calendar. Just because I'm teaching you this, you're also going to get something really cool, which is big aha moment number 2 will be, I promise you that for 98% of you, I will totally shift the way you're thinking about AI, because I think I was going to say doing it wrong, but I don't want to offend you. Lots of room for improvement the way you're looking at it. This slide deck I created with a prompt because of the way I'm going to show you how AI can be used with high ticket. So those of you that think AI is a competitive force against you, that's the wrong paradigm. So let's dig in. One more time, you can see me, you can hear me, you can see the slide, correct? All right, Cindy, Edwin, Oscar, cool. Everybody can. Well, most of you can. So the way high ticket is sold is changing forever. What worked in the past is structurally breaking. And I think those of you, because you're in this marketing space, you've been a prospect and you've been a provider, correct? Even if you're doing B2C stuff, therapy, yoga, finances, weight loss, whatever, how many of you have been on a yucky, that's a technical term my kids would use. How many of you have been on a yucky, less than desirable sales call where you've talked to someone who doesn't really know about your situation that's there just to pressure you to buy something? Okay. And here's the thing. When we keep offering these free strategy calls, the market has shifted. That goes back to Eugene Schwartz and Claude Hopkins and all of the forefathers of direct response. And it's about market sophistication. The market has moved beyond, oh, I'm going to help you. Here's a whole bunch of testimonials. I promised you a training where I was going to educate you, but I'm just going to hammer you into a call. And I know that 80% of the people aren't going to show up, but somehow the numbers still work. And I still get 1 or 2 clients a week. If you can only see a black screen, Alec, you're just not in the right window. The slides should be displayed. Someone else tell me I'm not crazy. Okay, cool. Now, thank you. So let's talk about the 3 buckets quickly, and let's dig into the math. And I want you again to have something to write with, or Evernote, or something you can use. Why coaches, consultants, and creators struggle to sell high ticket. Number 1, tire kickers and no-shows. That's where you fill your calendar with no-shows and tire kickers, or using closers and complicated sales processes that ruin your brand. Why does it ruin your brand? The closer doesn't know how to serve clients, so you're caught between a rock and a hard place. You don't want to be on the phone or on Zoom all day or doing chat, but you hire someone who can't really help clients in most cases. So that's the gap, is the first experience. Think about when your customer comes into your world, if they immediately think your time is worthless, like if you're willing to talk to me for 30 minutes or an hour, you're telling me your time is worthless. So how much of an expert are you? How are you positioning yourself if your time is worthless? And then you have the 19-year-old closer who can't help people. So of course they don't show up. They have no reason to show up. They don't think it's important to show up. Complicated funnels in tech. How many of you have tried to launch more than 3 different marketing funnels that generated less than 10K? So that could mean you did a low ticket offer, a webinar, or something else, right? What we do is we buy the tools before we have the proven offer in place, before we have the right model in place. And that's how the market operates, is it sells us the tools, the plugins, the AI scripts, the the CRMs, the landing page builder, the AI generation, Claude-based websites, and you're doing all this crap instead of going and getting a customer. No clear plan for traffic. This is the third thing we're going to overcome. So I'm stoked about this. Why? Because, well, let me ask you, how many of you have spent more than $1,000 on ads in your career and not had a return on investment? How many of you have dabbled with Google or Meta advertising? Okay, fair amount. Okay, awesome. Well, guess what? If you have the best offer in the world and you're Kevin Costner and you think you're going to build a baseball field in the middle of the corn, if it's not a highly funded movie that's fake, you're going to have a rude awakening. It's not true that if you build it, they will come in 99% of the cases. We want to have certainty in our process, not chance. So how do we get in front of people? Well, we have a plan that I'm going to show you. So here's the big thing I realized in preparing this training. And by the way, I analyzed 25 years of the campaigns we've launched. I know it's crazy. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. I'm definitely not 50. 25 years of campaigns, a deep dive with AI on metrics across low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket funnels. We did a huge forensic analysis. I'll show you those numbers and basically said, what is the most predictable way to get high ticket clients? So sorry, the whole point is you don't have a funnel traffic or sales problem. Those are symptoms. It goes deeper than that. And if we understand the root cause of why it's so hard, we can fix it quickly. So these are 3 models that I told you in the beginning. There are only 3 marketing models on the planet. There's low ticket, and some of you have said you've launched those before, and it makes a lot of sense to do a low ticket offer. That's where someone comes into your world. You can actually get a customer instead of a tire kicker. You can say, get one part of my program for $27, an AI tool, a script, a cheat sheet, a mini course, a paid webinar. Those work fantastically when it's time to scale. It's never the first thing you should do is start low. If you want to have a huge team and you can make or break your whole business based on a 1% change in conversion, this is not where you start. The deadly middle ground that Mr. Miyagi says, well, I should say, these are super technical, and some of you have done this with the upsells, downsells, and bumps, etc. Guess what? You have to literally get 100 or so customers per day for this to make sense. And if you don't have a back-end offer to put them to, it doesn't matter. This is what Mr. Miyagi calls, remember he says, right side of the road, okay, left side, okay, middle of the road, squash like grape. This is the dead zone. This is where you think, hey, I'm going to create a course. It's going to be $500, $1,000, $1,500. And I'm going to continually try to sell it every day, every week. And I'm in the constant launch cycle. But the next month I start over with my revenue because there's no recurring revenue. And I'm going to say something that a lot of marketers don't say. You're not serving your clients at your highest and best use. Your clients don't need to watch a bunch of boring videos. What they need is a living actual system that you can help implement with them. They need support. How many of you, let's be honest, how many of you have purchased more than 10 courses you haven't finished? My Dropbox folder hit its limit at like 6 terabytes, and it's got decades of those courses in there. For example, when I've paid probably 20 people more than 10K to help me with one specific problem. And if I paid Alaric Heck to launch a YouTube campaign, and I'm working with his copywriter to write ads, and I'm working with their team to set up the campaign, I'm going to get it done. If I took the course for 11 hours and every time I had a question, there's no one to help me, I'm not going to implement. Then you have high ticket funnels. So we know that these are the middle ground. They're complicated. The traditional high ticket funnel is what we're here to flip on its head. Tons of no-shows, unqualified prospects, poor positioning. Look, if a dentist knocked on my front door and said, do you want me to clean your teeth or do some fillings for free, I would run away because dental is already painful enough. It is not the right way to position yourself as an expert and thought leader and someone who can help them if your first offer is, oh, talk to me for free, I'm worth nothing. Do you understand that paradigm shift? You're basically saying your time isn't worth anything. How good are you if a high environmental law attorney charges $700 an hour and your price is zero, you're basically wondering why you have no shows and tire kickers, and you're attracting them and reinforcing that behavior by saying your time is worthless. Okay, I would word that a little bit differently, James, at least on a webinar, but I get the point. That's hilarious. Okay, so this is a shift that I'm going to show you, and it's literally when I told you I have receipts, I'm going to show you a shift you can make into the traditional high ticket structure that can get 2 to 3x results. And I'm talking about the same lead magnet, the same traffic, the same structure, and you implement one change here. This happened 14 years ago or something. I was talking to a guy in New Zealand, and I was fresh out of Silicon Valley, and I think it was $18,000 for my coaching program. And even though I was a vice president of these startups, I didn't have, believe it or not, the confidence to go out and have people pay me to coach them. I was like, no one's going to buy my stuff ever. Like, I'm never going to sell anything. And talk about imposter syndrome. And this guy told me, dude, there's one shift you can make, and that is to shift that first client experience into a paid experience, and all the numbers double or triple. And I was like, yeah, because my calendar, I'm sitting here with my calendar full of people, and then I'm so excited when I wake up that I have 3 sales calls today, and 2 of them don't show up, and 1 of them isn't qualified. And I made this shift that I'm going to paint for you today, and let's cover it. So I'm the biggest nerd on the planet. The offer architect is what I do. And all that means is through military experience, I learned that having processes are superior than winging it. And that's what I applied to the marketing space. I've been doing this stuff for over 20 years, Silicon Valley. And those of you that have been around my world for a while, many of you have been around my world for years. Tell me how long you've known about me or my brand. I'm going to tell you why that makes sense in a minute. And I've sold a fair amount of stuff, over $30 million of courses, low ticket, software, AI software, high ticket coaching, consulting, and everything in between. So this is not theory. So 6 hours, Carrie, I love that. That's good to see. 20 years, Ryan, I feel so old. Shit. 5 years. So there's a whole gamut, and that's true for your marketplace too. Once you understand your numbers, you understand that's how you make traffic and ads and high ticket work, is not getting emotional when you get 1% of your people to pay you on day one, because you know you're going to get 5% in 90 days. We'll talk about the numbers in a minute. So, this is a little bit meta. Again, if you're just logging on, there's a bonus part that I have to show you today. This presentation is not about AI, but I promise you, I'm going to make a major shift in the way you look at marketing and high ticket. And I'm going to make a major shift in the way you look at AI, because 99% of the people, including the YouTube videos you're watching, don't look at AI the wrong way. They're looking at it too small, too granular. The reason I brought that up is because this slide deck today was based on a framework I have for a webinar outline, plugging it into a system. And it doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT or Claude or what everyone else is saying, Gamma for slides, that's BS. You don't need it. This is just Claude code. And I said, hey, I'm doing a webinar. Here's my outline. This is kind of meta, but you're seeing a slide presentation tool. You're seeing actual slides built with AI. I don't need PowerPoint or Keynote or Google Slides or any of that crap anymore. And this is just a little hint of the AI piece I'm going to show you and how that ties into launching and scaling high ticket. So you came for high ticket, you're going to leave with AI. Does that sound cool? Okay, so these are a bunch of people. Now, if you're one of these people, I apologize, because these are all real people, but some of the images AI got a little bit too creative with. So Alex is probably a Chinese guy, for example, but these are real customer feedback testimonials. Just the images might be a little bit wacky. So let's dig into the zero selling system. We're going to talk about the 6 core elements and how it works. And the bottom line is, my goal is for you to leave with clarity on how to generate high ticket clients like clockwork with 0 sales calls. So the biggest shift I want you to think about is, you do not need, and this is not another DM chat, sell by chat system, or, me telling you to use Zoom and saying it's no longer a sales call. I'm telling you, you should not ever do any free calls again. And you can double or triple your numbers by killing all those appointments off your calendar. So does that sound too good to be true, that you can double or triple your numbers and never have a tire kicker again? To be honest, sounds kind of crazy, right? How can I double my results and never have a no-show tire kicker, hire a closer again? So at this point of this session, I want to lean into your skepticism. Remember that. Remember this moment when it sounds like, okay, here's another marketer saying the old way is dead and there's a new, brand new system that's going to one click, no effort. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to know your stuff. You need to care about customer results. And if you know your stuff and care about customer results, what makes or breaks your business is the right model. And I'm going to profess that most people in the industry are using a broken model. Let's dig into these 6 steps. Why you need, in my opinion, not want or should consider this system now. It creates a bridge from stranger to marriage. Here is what's broken in high ticket fundamentally. If you walked up to the person of your dreams, your dream match, your dream spouse, whatever, and even if that person was the most compatible life partner in the world for you, your soulmate, if you believe there's one, there's probably like a couple in every town, but let's just say you believe that. And you walked up to that person and said, "Hey, I'm Aaron. Do you want to get married?" You'd probably get the cops called, get a drink thrown in your face. In other words, you can ruin the perfect relationship by going too fast. Do you agree with that? Yep, coach. Does sound like a country song. If there's a broken radiator or some kind of injured dog, it probably would be. But that's the important thing. We need to build a bridge from stranger, someone who saw your ad or your social media post yesterday, to giving you $10,000. And that's why all the pressure selling and psychological stuff that used to work is breaking, because people are hip. The market, everyone's been doing high ticket for so long. Started with Kevin Nations and Frank Kern and the original people, and I've done every script, every variation, and you can use all of those cool folks' trainings and knowledge, but if you don't have the model, it's not going to work. Validate before you automate. This is what I love about this. You basically need, even though there are 6 steps I'm going to show you, you need literally 2 assets to test this out. You need a 2-step funnel. They get something to get into your world. And then the way we position what I'm going to show you to go from free to paid to help them, you don't need to see, like, for me, sometimes I procrastinate. Maybe it's imposter syndrome. Maybe it's like fear of success or failure, all that psychological stuff. But have you ever spent way too long working on setting up funnels or webinars and email sequences and tech when your store isn't open? And this is why I opened up this call. This is important. The 6 core I'm going to dig into, Norman, 1 second. This is why it's so important, because if you had a local shop, if you had a pizza shop, I always use this analogy. I asked you in the beginning, can someone buy from you today? And actually, there's more people on now. Answer this question. Today, is there a place, a shopping cart, a calendar link? Is there a place for someone to buy from you today? Can I buy from you right now? And I already know the distribution is going to be 80-20, right? There's a lot of yeses and there's some no's. Maybe the no's are shy. Don't be shy. Come on. Can I buy from you? Tracy, thanks for being honest. Some of you on eBay, different places they can buy. I'm going to count that. So here's why I'm asking that question. All of the training and courses and AI hacks and content you're consuming and everything you're doing doesn't add up to diddly squat if you're a business owner with no store. Like literally you make amazing pizza, you don't have an oven or a retail space, and you're sitting there wondering why no one wants your pizza, because I can't buy it. So the goal for today, one of them is, and Marius, that's a link to buy from you. I will buy from you as long as what you're selling is cheaper than what you're going to buy from me. But this is important, because this is what I see the number one obstacle to help you overcome is launch something that is, dare I say, shitty. I don't want to cuss, but less than you'd like it to be, less than what you think it should be. This is the lean startup. This is the MVP. Like, get it out there and then fix it. Launch the thing, the course before it's done, deliver it live, sell it, and then build it. If your pizza shop isn't open, then why are you confused why you're struggling financially or not where you want to be in terms of revenue if I can't go buy from you? So the three things again, a big shift in your model that I'm going to give you with the math you're going to leave with, a different way to look at using AI to build it faster to get your store open, and a commitment from you. Like if you haven't decided, like Myron Golden says, if you haven't decided your pizza shop opens in 3 weeks, it's never going to open. You're not working on it. You're not building it. You're not analyzing it. You're not creating content. You're not planning it. All that is, it's worthless to yourself. What's valuable is this launches on July 7th. So if I give you a crystal clear plan today, can you tell me, no idea what that means, James, but it looks really fun. Can I get a commitment that if you had clarity and confidence about what to do, could you launch this in 30 to 90 days? If your store isn't open yet. If you don't do that, then what's the point? Let's not kid ourselves. I said, when ChatGPT first came out and all the paranoia was there, I was selling AI software and people would hate on it even because it was AI software. Like, it's going to kill us. It's going to take my job. You're ruining the world. AI can't put you out of business if you don't have a business. Number 3, paid traffic is much more scalable. This is the biggest issue that I'm going to show you with traffic. The reason why ads don't work as well for course creators, consultants, coaches, agencies, is because the people that kill it on ads, e-commerce brands, don't have to wait a month to see if it's working. So how many of you know what your sales cycle is? In other words, how many of you know, and tell me in the chat if you know, how many days does it take for a lead to become a customer in the world? Does anyone know that number for themselves? 21 days, 1 day because you have a low ticket offer, Marius, that's good. 30 days. How many touches before someone buys? From 7 to 30. 30, okay, good. So, excuse me, do you understand now? This is why the traffic is challenging, because if you're spending $20 a day, $200 a day, $5,000 a day, I've spent $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a day. The scary and unaffordable risk to you is if you have to wait 30 days to get paid back, of course you're going to kill those ad campaigns because you have to float a ton of cash before you even know if it worked. If you get paid on day one, all that goes away. You spend $100 today, you get $120 today, spend more tomorrow. That's the biggest shift with traffic with what I'm going to show you. Enroll your ideal clients without sales calls, closers, or no-shows, and literally get 2 to 3 times more revenue from one simple shift. The math speaks for itself. So here's where you want the pen and paper. This is the nerd slide, and it's kind of cool. This is a total paradigm shift. Again, this is an interactive slide, not PowerPoint, not Keynote, something very simply created with Claude. The way I'm going to show you as a bonus how to use AI. Okay, ready for the math? We're going to make this painless because I hate math. But I'll tell you this. The difference between a struggling entrepreneur that's from 0 to 6 figures and a 7, 8, or 9-figure entrepreneur is you can sit down like on the Shark Tank, if you've ever watched it. What questions do those fellas and ladies ask? What does it cost you to acquire a customer? What's your profitability, your unit cost, et cetera, et cetera? In other words, the way I can tell if you're going to be successful is because you don't have to go look shit up to give me simple answers. What do you pay to acquire a customer? Oh, I know that a strategy session is worth, I pay $80 to $200 for, I pay $15 for a lead. I close 25% of the people I talk to. So if you're running a high ticket business, let me ask you a couple basic numbers. And then we're going to dig into this before and after and give you your numbers. Okay. What do you pay to get a lead? Do you know that number? 50, Rob. Okay. So there's still, okay. So Marius, if you get them from free from LinkedIn, what's the value of a lead then? So $50 to $100, referrals, but it's not scalable. $50 says Elaine. Okay. Good numbers. So by a lead, I just mean contact information, not a prospect, not an appointment. What do you pay to get a lead? And let's take it down the funnel. Do you know what percentage of leads book with you? Can you give me a feel for that number? Tanya, a good amount per lead, but they're all funnel hackers. That happens. I'll tell you how to get rid of that. Yeah, you shut it down smart. Let's talk about how you, Tanya, would you accept a funnel hacker that paid you the 5 to 10K? Of course. So 30 to 35%. Do you see how things fall apart with the numbers? So let me just tell you what they should be, the basics. But the final question I'll ask you before we dig into this, do you know the percentage of show up calls? This could be chat calls, Zoom calls, whatever you're doing. What percentage of the people that you talk to buy your program? Good numbers, Mike. You have your stuff dialed in? Yes, Tom. I'll just show you really. Closing rate is just under 60%. So, Tom, I am showing you. This is, if you don't understand the math behind it, you're not going to be able to do anything. Okay, question again. Okay, what percentage of the people you talk to actually enroll? 40%, that's huge. Spring, you're going to get your baseline as you launch the new offer. 5%, okay, that's a little bit low. So these are the basic numbers, and this is not from me. This is the industry standard. If you talk to anyone doing this stuff at scale, from Russ Ruffino to Dan Henry to anybody in that world, there's a known math. About 2 to 5% of your leads book. Only you get like crazy no-show percentages, like 60 to 80%. And when you talk to someone, when you finally get someone through that horrible free call funnel, you usually enroll 20 to 25% of those people. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. Let's say you spent 20K in ads, and that doesn't mean per day or even per month. Let's just, whatever period that, wherever you are in your business, this could be per week, per quarter. It's a controlled number, 20K ad spend, $15 per lead, which is the industry average for high ticket, would get you 1,300 leads. Let's say your offer is 5K. Some of you that have joined us later, we asked, what is your offer? You can go ahead and type that in as we're uncovering this. What is your pricing? If you have an existing offer or you're launching a high ticket offer, let me hear as I'm covering this, just go ahead and type in your price point. So $9,400, 2K. Hey, Carrie, your whole world will change if you increase that to 3. Like literally it makes all the numbers more forgiving. I'll show you why in a minute. 5K, 2,900 euros, 7,500 to 15K, Brian. That's awesome. Okay. 25K. Are you doing agency services or something for that? And that's great. You have like, if I got disconnected from this call now, I would just say the number one lever to ever pull in your business is LTV, the lifetime value of a customer. In other words, increasing your price makes everything easier. Some of you aren't there yet, and that's okay. Okay, so a lot of people between 5K and 20K, that's the standard. So let's say what's happening now. Someone opts in, I get a normal conversion rate, 20 to 30%. Some of you do better than that. I pay $15 per lead, I get 1,300 leads. What happens next? Well, I'm offering the free call or application like most people, and 5% of those people go ahead and book the call, right? That's the industry standard. And those of you that know these numbers know that this is normal. So you might, in some industries, pay as little as $60 to get a book call, and some industries might be $1,000. There's a huge range there because it's reverse engineered from your price. So in other words, if your program is 25K, of course you'd pay $1,000 per booking. If your program is 3K, you want to be around $100 to $150. Don't get caught in the math. It's about the steps, but I want to show you the before and after math, okay? So again, we got some leads, 5% book something. Here's where things fall apart. This is a good optimistic number that 60% of the people show up, okay? Now, here's the problem with that. So what happened to the other, number one, the other 40%? You know that feeling when you look at your calendar and you're excited, like I said, and you have 2 or 3 calls today, and 2 of them don't show up and the third one isn't qualified. That just takes the wind out of your sails, correct? So then you enroll 20%. So here's how the math looks. We're saying you're charging 5K for your program, and here's how the number would pan out. It's not horrible, but there's no room. It's incredibly inefficient. There's no room for error. There's not any fudge factor. You have Joe, broke people. That's a problem, right? Here's why. You spent 20K and you got 40K back within 30 days. And we call that success. That means you had a 50% customer acquisition cost. Not to get into the nerdy numbers, but that's obvious, right? If I spent 20 and got back 40, And then I have to serve those people and coach those people or do services for those people. That's not super efficient. And this is the industry standard. Just tell me this makes sense so far, and we'll go more quickly through the different model. And then we'll break out the steps and the shift that you need to make. Anyone have a drastically different number or not agree that these are the industry numbers? A lot of yeses. This is based on 10 or 12,000 funnels that we broke down. Okay. Here's what I cannot underscore enough. This zero selling system doesn't change what the lead magnet or the opt-in is. It doesn't change what we spent. It doesn't change our conversion rate. It doesn't change our cost per lead. This is a controlled experiment, meaning when we tested this, we controlled variables. All it means is we wouldn't know why it worked if we had a different lead magnet with a different cost per lead with a different funnel. This is the same freaking funnel. So we have the same metrics for opt-ins. We have a different type of video script that's optimized to get people to pay, not to book for free. That's change number one. I'll break down this video in a sec. But 3% of the people go ahead and pay us $299, which is an optimized price. I've charged $1,000. I've charged less. This price is here for a reason. Don't mess with it. So here's what you're going to do. Here's the shift. This paid mapping session, I'm going to show you the framework for this session. Here's the big shift that I would need you just to slow down and think about. To go from stranger to customer, from stranger to marriage. This is the date. This is how you get rid of the tire kickers. This is how you get rid of the funnel hackers, the no-shows, the calendar crap. Your VSL still covers how you can help people. Here's my process for helping these people get this result in this amount of time. It still covers the same content. It's still only an 8 to 12, maybe 18-minute video. But it's not offering a free session that no one wants that positions you as worthless. It's simple. It is, we will sit down together for 60 minutes on Zoom or the phone for some cases, and we're going to map out your 90-day plan. We're going to give you a plan. We're not going to implement. We're not going to build things. But it's not a free call that you're charging for. It's not a worthless call that you're charging for that a closer's doing. This is you or someone that's trained in your system. I'll talk about how to scale in a moment. But the big paradigm shift is you simply say, first you understand before you say anything. You understand in your head, I don't want to be worthless. If someone doesn't have $300, they don't have $10,000. Write that down. Doesn't that make sense to you? If they don't have $300 and see the value of you helping them, then they're not going to have the money or see the value of you helping them. Nikki or Nike, sorry, N-I-K-K-E. I'm going to explain why this price is the starting price and how to change it later. Yes. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Okay. Here's why this is so powerful, because what we looked at, well, first of all, let me explain the framing. Then I'm going to go into the framework and show you how it works. This paid mapping session, what we do with our clients, and you don't need to use AI at all, but what you're not doing is a crappy free call that you're charging for. Just like you don't take a lead magnet and call it a low ticket offer. You have to deliver way more value if they're paying, because that's their first impression of you. This is bananas, and this is more profound than you understand right now. And I'm going to show you our clients that are using this. Do I have any clients that are using this on here? Hopefully not, because it's a marketing session, but maybe I do. Have you ever done have you ever done the paid sessions? Anybody that's on here done the paid sessions? Gone from free to paid. Okay. Here's why the session price, Tracy, is $300, $299. Because we're doing two things. We're getting rid of all tire kickers, funnel hackers, no-shows. No one is on our calendar that did not pay there. And we go from a 60% to 95%, and it's actually 100%. I've never seen someone just not show, but I'm calling it 95% show up rate. So here's paradigm shift number one. Your calendar has way less people, 20% of the people on it, but they all paid you to be there. You get money on day one, so your ads work because you can be bidding on the people that are actually buying these sessions. And there's no more closing involved. This is a huge other benefit. When I talk to you and I sit down and I have my product, we call it a product roadmap, but just the steps you use to serve clients, and I do an audit. I do an audit where you are now and where you should be. And I give you a 90-day plan, and we use an AI script that asks you questions about your product. And actually the client is on the call going through the AI script. So it's It's designed to give them a 90-day plan. That's actually a beautiful printout. Not getting into logistics, but conceptually, you paid to be there. So my time isn't free, but it's an affordable price for people that are serious. I'm delivering extreme value. And guess what? I enroll a massive percent into my high ticket program. I'm talking about literally 60 to 90% enroll from the paid session into my program. I want you to write this down. How do I enroll so many people? How can you enroll so many people from a strategy call into your $10,000, $5,000, $25,000 program? Because there's 2 questions to enroll them. Please write this down. Question 1, Nikki, we just put together a 90-day implementation plan for you to reach your goal of 50K per month in 90 days. Question 1, Nikki, what's your confidence level that this plan we laid out would get you there? They always say 100%, 80, 90, 100%. They're excited. For the first time, they have clarity. They have a plan for the first time, exactly what to do. Second question, what is your confidence level, Nikki, that you can implement this yourself? They say very low or 0. And here's the closing, the big pressure close goes like this. Would you like my help? Do you guys understand that? Tell me you understand that enrollment process. It changes everything. It changes literally. This is not like webinar number 36 where you learned a little thing. If you implement this, this changes the whole, it flips the whole model on its head. It's simple. That's why it's beautiful. I am not a worthless person, at least in the context of this. Just kidding. My time is not worthless. I'm not coming there saying, yeah, book a call for an hour. Don't show up. I know most of you won't show up. I don't care. I'm worthless. And then I have to talk to you and pressure you to realize you have no money. And you go, yeah, as soon as I get my other wooden leg put on, I'm going to have an extra investment that I can make to you in April. Like, no. I filtered out all the tire kickers with one shift. I'm going to start like Jay Abraham says, like Seth Godin says, moving the free line. Jay Abraham says, don't wait for money to change hands without serving people. All I do is take the first step I would do when I bring on a client to my agency or coaching program, and I do that first. That's the bridge. That's the bridge. Now let's talk about the steps to implement it. So, and I'm going to ask you the same question as if I was on a call with you, a paid call. What's your confidence level? Webinar folks that are awesome for being here. What's your confidence level? This would be exponentially better than the first model. If you knew and implemented the steps properly, yes, Joe, you can implement it towards the bigger program. We'll get there. Seriously, folks, this is exciting. Like, this changed everything for me. I was burnt out. I was actually maybe low-grade depression because I got good at, I was one of the first people doing webinars with Facebook ads in like 2013, and like getting so many calls on my calendar that it was filling up. And I was like, God, this sucks. Like, I literally have a worse job than I did when I had a day job. This shift changed everything. Let's get into the details. The 6 steps to make this happen. And some of them multiply your results and aren't required the day you launch, but I'm going to walk you through them because some of you that are anxious, right? Like the gentleman earlier was like, get to the punchline, show me how this all works quickly. That's why you're still struggling. So those of you that have been in my world for a while know that if you don't have a good offer, nothing else matters. And that's why you're not where you want to be. This is not sexy. This is not endorphin rush inducing. This is not what the marketing world tells you. Like, hey, just use this one script. Just use this one webinar. You're going to be rich. Just here's these ads I've used, and get this AI tool and create 1,000 videos in 1 minute. That's all distraction and BS. What you're doing is you're learning from professional marketers who create awesome offers, and you don't yet know how to create an awesome offer, and they're selling you the outcome, like Michael Jordan saying, learn basketball in my weekend seminar. Okay? So you need to stop going fast and do it right once. So let's dig into those steps. There are 6 steps. You have to do them in the right order. Let's dig into them. Number 1 is the offer. If you don't have a good offer that's made up of these 3 things, then none of the marketing stuff matters. You can post 5 times a day. You're not going to, that's why you're not getting results. It's broken out into your message, the way you articulate what you do, your roadmap, which those of you that are new to my world, it's a term we use just to say, I create a unique offer that they can see. I don't talk about it. I create a unique offer that only I can give them. And the model, which we're talking about today, the math. How many of you have an offer that, and actually type in right now, your core elevator pitch? Like, I help bankruptcy attorneys get 5 to 10 new clients per month without spending a dollar on ads. Those of you that have been on my $1 Million Message webinars or seminars or been clients understand the importance of that. So Joe, you're close. I help brilliant coaches who are struggling to monetize, to sell their coaching. Let's get into this messaging piece a little bit here. How many, but what does it mean when they monetize? How much money do they get? Do they go from 5 to 50K in 90 days without the stuff that they hate? So you're close, but there's no core currency or metric. I'm not going to teach the whole messaging piece, but all you need to leave with today is the understanding that it's very simple. Who do I help? What specific result do I get? Not more clients, not grow your business, not lose weight. 3 to 5 customers. In what timeline? And what pain am I reducing or removing? Because when someone goes to buy your stuff, folks, they think it won't work for them because you're like everyone else. They have to understand that, like, I don't want to work out 8 hours a day to get in shape. So I want to teach you how to lose weight, lose 20 or 30 pounds without spending hours in the gym. I don't want to learn the whole stock market to retire with a good investment portfolio. I don't want to learn all of digital marketing to launch a successful coaching offer. I don't want to waste money on ads. I don't want to post on social media all day. You have to understand what's holding your customers back, and your job is to reduce or eliminate those. I help contractors increase their appointments by how much? And increase their time. So you got to pick one, Mike. Is it appointments or time without any extra effort or ad spend? What kind of effort? I help what type of contractors get 3 to 5 of their ideal client appointments, or 3 to 5 appointments per week in 30 days without spending a dollar on ads. So again, I'm going to give you some resources on messaging. The product roadmap is step 2. And if you've never seen it before, I can show you examples, but guess what? The zero selling system I showed you is a product roadmap. It's just about, don't ever underestimate the power of showing, not telling. Everything I do is based, as you're seeing here, everything our customers do, and now we can generate these quickly with AI, is not saying I can do this and I do that, and here's a YouTube video of me talking. No, it's like, have you seen this 1-page cheat sheet that we use? This is our ad strategy we've used to scale up to 7 figures in paid ads. Have you seen this 1-page sales script? Have you seen this 1-page diet plan? Everything is visual. Never underestimate the power of showing people, not telling them. So the model builder is what we're getting into and what we've covered today. And it's just knowing this. The way you grow your business with confidence is by saying, oh, I spend $100 a day on ads, or I post this much in social media, or I send this many emails, whatever your traffic source is. I go on LinkedIn. 1 out of every 100 prospects raises their hand. Those hand raisers are worth $100. We enroll 1 out of 5 of those. We used to say when I was an explosive ordnance disposal diver underwater, you plan the dive and you dive the plan. You don't just go and try marketing and try social media and try advertising. If you launch with a plan, and then you see how you're doing against that plan. Does that make sense? Okay. Lead magnets, we do differently. So this is, I'm going to go back to the image, and this is where we get into the 6 steps. Step 1 is they opt in for something. They get something. It's not something random. It's 1 step of your roadmap, 1 hot step. So if your whole product is helping contractors get 3 to 5 appointments in 90 days, you have a process they go through. It's not just your advice. They can see where they are. You're showing them the forest through the trees. With all this AI and noise out there, what your customers need is not just your expertise. They need to know that they have a plan. If I'm going to go to become a surgeon, I don't go buy 100 books on Amazon. I go to freaking med school. I like right now you are, because you're my audience, you're consuming random crap on the web, hoping it just falls into place into a strategy. What you need to give your clients is the same thing I'm giving you, which is it doesn't work like that. You get your offer, then you get your funnel, then you get your traffic, you get your diet, you get your mindset, you get your exercise, you get this, this, and this. So we take one hot step of our roadmap. We use a hot format. We don't give boring ebooks or courses. We give them a one-page system they can implement now. And then when they opt in, they go to a simple video where we offer them the paid session. Yeah, Spring says roadmaps make me feel confident I won't get lost. Really, that's the whole point. So here's the most important thing you need to understand about this whole mystery around VSLs and webinars, and everyone has their own script and all this stuff. There are 6 core phases you need to take any stranger through the right way. You need to hook them by showing them what you're going to deliver with a promise. You need to quickly show them you understand why they're struggling and call out the major obstacles you're going to help them overcome. You need to show them you're not just someone that was born yesterday, that you've actually done this predictably. You have some proof from you or your customers. You show them the thing, the lead magnet, the cheat sheet. It's not advice. It's not a text freaking Google Doc. It's a one-page system. That's the only way to structure a lead magnet. And then you do something more powerful. You show them that the lead magnet they just got fits into their greater strategy. So let me show you how that, and then you tell them what to do, book a session. Let me give you a real life example so this hits home a bit better. Let me go to this. Okay, let's say you're looking at an ad and zero selling system is my system. It's my roadmap. This is what we're here to cover. It's kind of meta. Let's say what I'm going to do is I'm going to run ads or social media posts advertising a free cheat sheet for the script VSL. In other words, the video script. I have 2 jobs. Number 1, walk you through the script. Number 2, say, hey, the script is step 3 in a 6-step system you can use to enroll high-ticket clients without sales calls. And if you want to sit down with me for an hour and map out your 90-day strategy to implement this, we're going to go through every one of these 6 steps and give you a clear game plan. It's $299. You're going to get the video, a clear printed game plan, and you're going to work with me directly to architect your system. Does that make sense conceptually? Tell me if that makes sense. The lead magnet is one part of your system. It's not something random. And then you show them the whole system. So this is that VSL we use to get them to the paid session. The next step is the paid session itself. So I'm going to show you how you can serve clients better using AI tools. It's not intimidating. It's not technical. I know nothing about software development or anything, but here's what I do with my clients, okay? I give them an AI tool that they can just paste in a ChatGPT or Claude, and it asks them questions, and it creates a paid session audit tool like this, paid session audit. So here's how the paid session works. You're on Zoom with someone, and you spend this amount of time on each step. The whole thing is around 60 minutes, and you give them a report, and you offer them to enroll in your high ticket program, and a huge percentage of people enroll in your high ticket program. Yeah, Judy brings up a good point. Your lead magnet needs to get someone a win, and this could be a low ticket offer as well, in hours or days. And your core backend offer gets someone results in weeks or months. Do you see what I'm saying? Time is important. The payoff time is important. So you sit on and you do the paid session. You're not winging it. Literally, you need to know your stuff, but at the same time, the AI tool, I'm going to show you how the AI tool works in a moment, but you sit down with someone and literally you hit enter and you have their name and their business, and then you walk them through asking them questions, and they leave with a 90-day plan. This is why this is not a free sales call in disguise. So we have a unique offer. We pick one step of that offer as a lead magnet. We write and we use an AI tool to do it for us, with us. We write a script for a quick VSL where we can offer them the paid session. We do the paid session. And for all the people that don't enroll, we nurture them. So something you need to understand is 1 to 2% of the people will buy the paid session the first time they see the video. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% of those people just need a little bit of nurturing, and that's okay because I get cash on day one, so I know it's working, but then I just get more and more results over time. So how do we do that? The content launch pack, I name everything kind of fun, nerdy like this. But let me demystify nurturing and content marketing, and it ties into ads. I'll show you in a minute, and it's just way more simple than people are making it. My roadmap that I use to get you results, let's say it has 9 steps. Most of our clients do. I'm going to log in to any questions you have about any of this. I'm going to give plenty of time at the end here in a moment. I'll show you real examples, the closest thing I can to your industry, whatever. But all I have to do is take each step of my client solution and create a quick value video that walks them through it. And if you love to write, it can just be email copy. I recommend video because it's more engaging. But so this is what it looks like when it's put together. To go back and show you what the heck we're talking about is people come into my world and I gave them a lead magnet. They watch the video and some people booked a paid mapping session. People that don't, every day or two, get a really cool, educational, simple, literally 5 to 8 minute video where I walk them through each step of my solution. So imagine if you are this person and you opted in today and you didn't book the paid session, but I said, okay, well, today what I want to show you is how we build lead magnets. And I'm not teaching all the how-to as if they're my client and giving them the AI tools. I'm giving them clarity on the way the system looks and works. Day 2, you get a video email from me that says, hey, dude, let me show you the script we use to enroll clients without, tire kickers or no-shows. You're like, that's interesting. Day 3, let me show you how we conduct paid mapping sessions. Day 4, let me show you how we nurture people. Day 5. So all you're doing is you're chunking out your agency product, your coaching program into steps that make sense, not random content. You're showing them how each step works. Tell me if that makes sense. So we're just nurturing them through the process. Now, this is a conversion multiplier. This is not required. This is something that I love because think about it like this. The more the money you make, the revenue you generate is directly proportionate to the number of times you put an offer in front of someone. Like, it sounds simple and it sounds funny, but that's just how the math works. Like some people didn't watch the video. Some people like to read content. Some people didn't stay for the webinar, for example. But the way you win is you have one core solid offer, and then you stack more nurture content. Maybe you'll do a webinar every 2 weeks. Maybe you'll add something called the enrollment amplifier. And believe it or not, this sounds like it won't work. I didn't think it would work. It sounded goofy until I tried it. And you know what it is? It's a freaking Google Doc. It's literally a document that is like a good old-fashioned sales letter that simply walks them through, hey, let me show you how I can help you get these results. If you're struggling with these problems, I've helped people just like you. I was like that too. I was literally, my calendar was full of no-shows. I was fat and overweight, or I was lonely and I was single, whatever the problems you're helping people solve, till I discovered this thing. And I'm going to walk you through it. And the choice is do what you're doing now or do this. Here's how I can help you. Here's what you get. Here's how to get started. So have you ever tried a good old fashioned sales letter or a Google Doc like this? Have you ever received one from somebody? It's so simple, it almost doesn't make sense. So what we do is we just say, okay, you watch the video, you've been through the nurture sequence. Maybe you don't have the attention span or the bandwidth. Maybe you're at AOL dial-up and you want to read. So it's another opportunity to buy. Isn't that cool? So Joe, it's a follow-up for people who don't buy. It's basically taking your video and turning it into a really well-crafted